Manchester United 3, Leicester City 0, and Tottenham Hotspur beaten at home in the Premier League. As predicted by David on the Top 6 show, he said it would happen. We all kind of laughed, but Spurs drop massive points against winless. Well, they were winless Ipswich Town this Sunday afternoon, and Tottenham disastrously go into the international break on the back of a defeat that simply shouldn't happen, in my personal opinion. They should be a team so superior, so dominant to a newly promoted team in a relegation fight. But this is Tottenham. We know that Tottenham can beat Man City. They can win. They smashed Villa last week. But this performance is always just down the road. It always has been, and it always will be. It was an excellent performance from Ipswich. And when they conceded, it was a good 30 minutes to go, and you think, will they collapse? Will they fall apart here? Will they indeed essentially, fall away and sort of allow the sort of Premier League, the established Premier League side to dominate? They didn't. They didn't actually. That's what really impressed me the most about Ipswich. They dug in. They remained resolute. They were still really hard to break down. They had opportunities themselves, and it was a very, very, very competent performance by Ipswich. Spurs are going to be absolutely fuming. There's no doubt about that. Manchester United, though, I want to start with them this afternoon because, look, forget the whole season at large. I'm judging these last 4 games. Ruud has been our manager, unbeaten in that time, a couple of clean sheets. We're through to the next round of the Carabao Cup. We're no longer in a minus goal difference. We actually controlled a game and sort of played in first gear for the first time in what feels like forever. Bruno Fernandes, majestic today. Yet you could probably find a few examples where he gave the ball away cheaply. I don't care. He's just back to his best 6 GA. He might even get that goal because it looked like it deflected off him a second time round, but it'll be 7 if he gets that. 6 GA in the last 4 games. And Ruud has just put Bruno Fernandes back into the position that he's one of the best in the world at. Stop trying to make him do weird stuff on the right-hand side. Stop trying to make him dictate play in the middle. No, you put him off that striker and he will get you goals. He will create you chances. Ugarte today, excellent for Man United, really starting to settle into life at Old Trafford. And I think there's so many more levels from him to come. I thought Ahmad had another very exciting game. His assist for Bruno's goal was absolutely brilliant. It was the sort of nonchalant way that he backheeled the ball. It was just a thing of beauty. I absolutely loved seeing it. It was great. Maswari again. Forget where United are because we're talking individuals for a moment here. One of the signings of the season across all teams in the Prem. It was just phenomenal. Again, I thought Lisandro Martinez, very good, both at centre-back and at left-back today. De Ligt, another solid performance. Really loving this signing. And as a player that I wanted sold back in January last season, I was fuming with him. I thought it was awful. I have to say this season has been brilliant. And today, again, I thought Onana really stood out, put in a really solid performance as well. And I want to shout out Garnacho. Comes on, off the bench. The goal he scored was just I wanted to score some more simple goals. I wanted to score some easier goals that he gets chances for, but absolutely brilliant. It was a cherry on top of the icing on top of the cake. Loads for my club to still work on. Loads for us to develop. Amorim comes in tomorrow. The players go off on international break. And look, the future is bright. The future is red. There's something for us United fans to look forward to. Not going to get carried away. Not making any crazy claims, but just happy. Happy at the performance. Happy with the goals. By the way, we scored 2 goals in the first half today. That means in total this season, we've scored 4 goals in the first half of games. We doubled that tally today. And we've literally played 2 games since Ten Hag has been fired at home. In the league. And we've doubled our first half tally. Just so much to look forward to. And I'm sure that Amorim is going to come in and help get us to another level. But there's a lot of talented players in this team. We saw it today. Loads more to come. I'm very happy. Well done to those players. Terry was starving. Yeah, I was starving. 100%. 100%. Do you know what I'm saying? 100%. And yes, I know we're still 13th. But doesn't mean we can't celebrate a win, because if we keep playing like this, we're going to slowly grow and go up the lead. And the positions right now are not even worrying me too much. And I'll tell you as to why the positions don't worry me too much. Yes, we're sitting 13th in the league on 15 points, but the team in 5th is only 3 points ahead of us. You were talking about, in fairness, the team in 4th is only 4 points ahead of us. In fact, the team in 3rd are only 4 points ahead of us. So, look, the league position, of course, the league table never lies in terms of the best or worst. But the fact that we're only 4 points away from 3rd is ridiculous. 4 points off 3rd as things stand as I'm talking to you right now. That could, of course, change if Arsenal or Chelsea win later. But if Arsenal and Chelsea draw, Man United are 13th and they're 4 points from 3rd place. I'm really not that worried. I'm not going to make any predictions of Champions League because I'm not sure we'll get there. But mathematically, I'm not worried about being in 13th. I'm not worried at all about being in 13th right now. We are going to win. We are better than Bournemouth. We're better than Brentford. We're better than Tottenham. I think we're better than Newcastle, better than Fulham. I think we're better than Brighton and Forest as well. I think we're better than all those teams. And this season the remainder of this season will prove it, my friends. So you can put in a little bit of badness in here. You can put in a little bit of saltiness, but be honest with you, I don't care. Man of the match was rightfully Bruno, but I would give it to the combo of Casemiro and Ugarte. They were sensational. Yeah, they were excellent today. They were really, really good in the middle. Very, very impressive indeed. I agree. Worst fears realized today. These absolute pricks only care about picking up a wage and nothing else. Enabled this behavior since Poch's sacking. Listen, bro, Spurs really were poor today. And even when they really were poor, you know, there's no defending, in my personal opinion, that Spurs performance at all. So I stand with you on that. Firstly, thank you, Ruud, my legend, and good job from the boys. Good form going into the break. I hope everybody stays home as to allow Ruben to put in his philosophy over the break. I am happy, Terry. I'm happy too. I'm happy too right now. You know, I've got a lot of what I wanted at Man United and in the last 4 or 5 months. And I think good times are just over the horizon. I think good times are just over the horizon for us. Only 4 teams have a better defensive record than United. We just need to start scoring goals. I absolutely agree. And look, we've seen it in the 4 games with Ruud. But we conceded a couple of goals, yes, to Leicester in the League Cup, but they were kind of lucky, really. Really good shot. And then an unlucky ricochet in the box fell to somebody's feet. I don't remember who it was now, but there we go. We've been so much harder to break down. And yes, they had 5 shots on target today, but that doesn't tell you the story. They were all pop shots, really. The one good opportunity they had, Delo, who actually did have a really bad game, plays Ndidi on side, who runs through on goal. We probably should have done better. Outside of that, they didn't have chances. They had shots, but they didn't have chances. And I do think there's a fundamental difference between those two things. So look, as long as Ruben comes in, and that's the starting block for any team, be hard to beat. And if you're hard to beat, if you're hard to break down, then anything from that point is possible. It's as simple and it's as straightforward as that. And I'll stand on that one. I'll stand on that one 110%. Everyone keeps saying 13th. We're 4 points off 4th. I wouldn't fall for it, mate. Remember, we live in this world now where no matter how good you are or bad you are, people are going to banter you. Just ignore it, Josh. We know that we've been good these last 4 games. We should enjoy it. My super chats are working. I'm glad your super chats are working again, my friend. Thank you very much for doing them. We're going to start bringing the panel out. No Spurs fans have turned up yet. Don't know where they're at, but KJ's with me. Strasbourg Steve is here as well. KJ, another win for Man United. 3 goals. Bruno back to what he does best. Talk to me.
Ruud. I salute you, my brother. Mission accomplished. Mission accomplished. His job was to come in, steady the ship, make us not concede goals left, right, and center, get us points on the board, and score some goals. 4 games, 3 wins, 1 draw, 11 goals scored. What? 3 goals conceded. 4 goals conceded. 3 or 4 goals conceded. I'm happy. He's done his job. After Chelsea, everyone was gunning after Ruud like he was supposed to be flipping Pep 2.0 after a week of football, after a week of having a team. as the interim. Everyone was ready to cook him. You haven't shown a style of play. You haven't shown us this. You haven't shown us. He did his job. Get results. He did that. Unbeaten. I'm just happy, man. I'm happy because now we have a starting block that the players are confident and this team can now hopefully go forward with Ruben Amorim and actually start climbing the table. And today was probably the best performance out of all 4 games because from the get-go, we was on Leicester. We was on them and we were pressing them. We were making sure we won the second ball, the third ball, the fourth ball. Today, the players showed their hunger and desire. And you know what? Thank you for actually showing some of that. Now that has to be the minimum that to show going forward on the Amorim. And let's play some good football. Let's climb up the table now. Because we've had a terrible season, a terrible year and a half. Go and repay us the time that you've been wasting of the fans and go repay us with some wins and good performances. Today, Terry, the midfield, all 3 of them, Bruno, Casemiro, Ugarte. Guess what happens when you play a consistent midfield and don't leave gaps in the midfield and allow 2 players to sit close to each other so they can help each other? Who knew that would make us harder to break down? Who knew that would mean that the Ten Hag's Island would no longer exist? And who knew that would get the best out of both Ugarte and Casemiro? Because I'll be first to admit, in the summer, I wanted Cas gone. My head was gone. I didn't want to see him see pitch. After Liverpool, man was vexed with him. I was ready to see him gone. But the system changed and he's improved. Ugarte played, 3 games for Man United? Flop. Awful. Not a good footballer. Terrible player. Why did we buy him? Waste of money. Over the last 4 games, he's been playing consistently and showing us why he has been bought from Man United. The legs, the energy, the tenacity. It's what we've been missing. And together with someone like a Casemiro who can also do the hard work, but also he's got a bit of ball playing in his locker, they've been a brilliant partnership. It's been a great partnership.
No, I totally agree. And look, we've had so many debates on this show about, for instance, Casemiro. And the only what frustrated me about the conversation around him is that everybody was ignoring the fact that it didn't matter whether he played in that role, McTominay played in that role, Cobby played in that role, Amrabat played in that role. Ten Hag's Island existed. We were exposing that single sort of pivot, sort of DM, and they were getting run through. No other top team in the league was doing that. They play in a unit and they constrict the space to make it hard for their opponents. And we've done that well in the last 4 games, which is why we have looked better. And there's a comment that come through saying, Terry, you beat a poor team at home. How can you be excited? This is what non-Man United fans are just either deliberately ignoring or they're not aware of. And that's the fact that Man United have been outplayed by most teams home and away in the past 18 months. Run through, conceding opportunity after opportunity after opportunity. And isn't it mad with his hair and beard like that, how much Brandon looks like David De Gea? Sorry, it just came on. He actually looks like David De Gea. So, yeah, look, for me, there's so much more work to be done at Man United. We know the squad over the next 2 years. Easily 11, 12, 13, 14 players out and in that time period. No one saying we're back to our absolute best. But as I said on so many top 6 shows, so many straight fact shows, the fact that people's sort of theory that we're, oh my God, I don't even think your squad's in the top 10 in the Premier League is nonsense. We were almost cut adrift mathematically from top 4 contention just 3 weeks ago. We're now 4 points away from 3rd, which mathematically speaking is more than catchable from this particular juncture. Now, if Arsenal or Chelsea win in a couple of hours, that will change a little bit. That will change slightly, but that'll only go to like 5 points, 6 points, which is still not a million miles away. This season is recoverable for Man United, and I'm really, really proud of this mini turnaround so far of fortunes, but a lot of hard work to go. And it mad. Bruno Fernandes was barely scoring and assisting. The system changes. You put him back in his position, 6 in 5. And I saw a stat the other day that showed, I think he's got, I don't remember the total amount of goals and assists that he's got. He is the 7th highest in Europe since joining Man United and the highest midfield player in terms of scoring goals and creating. I know he makes mistakes. I know he isn't the best on the eye. Put him where he's dangerous, and this man will deliver for you far more than any other midfield player in the world, barring KDB. Love the geezer. This is when he's at his best. So hopefully Amorim gets the best out of him as well.
Him and Ahmad are the 210s. In Amorim's system, they have to be the 210s right now. Because all the other attackers aren't proving that they're good enough to play that role at this moment in time. Things may change, but the way that Ahmad's come in and time again shown us why he shouldn't have never been benched by Ten Hag, and the way that Bruno has now gone back to what we know he can do because he's not being played out of position. This false...
I don't care about this stat from a KDB or Gerrard point of view. 156 goals created and scored in 250 games is phenomenal. I don't care what anybody says. When the song goes, tell me one thing he's good with at the ball at his feet. Scoring and creating chances. That's it. And it's a fact. You can't... I don't care if your eyes don't like it. This is not Strictly Come Fucking Dancing or Dancing with the Stars or My Breakdancing Dream or whatever. Britain's got talent. America's got talent. Manchester's got talent. This is football. And delivery... If City right now had attackers who could deliver goals and assists, they wouldn't be on a 4-game losing streak. Just to reiterate from yesterday, Sir Alex Ferguson in 26 years never lost 4 games on the bounce in all competitions. Just wanted to put that out there. But moving on slightly from Man United, because there are other teams and we've got the game starting soon. Who watched the Tottenham game?
I did.
Archie's right there.
Archie's here. Hello, you all right? What's the matter? Hello, son. Right, cool. Sorry, Brandon, you hear this? What are you going to say, Brandon? Then we'll go on to Archie.
Yeah, no, just real quick, because obviously this relates to Man United, but I'm gonna reserve my energy a little bit until after the game. But it's ironic, really, because Man United fans were talking about how poor their start to the season's been. Obviously, since you got rid of Ten Hag, you've seen a little bit of an upturn in form. But it's ironic to me how Man United fans are disgusted with the way that their season started. Yet you've got Arsenal fans out here still defending what Mikel Arteta and what Arsenal are doing. Yet, if we lose this game today, Manchester United will be 3 points behind us. Let that sink in, guys. Man United, 3 points behind Arsenal after 11 games. We better win today, Tel. We better win today.
Listen, you guys have got to win today for your title race. There's no doubt about it whatsoever. But look, it's not been a great start from you guys. And I think most Arsenal fans have called that out. That there's no doubt about it. Archie, what went wrong with Tottenham today, bruv? You beat City, you smashed up Villa, but today a team with no wins comes to your stadium and dunks on you.
Yeah, I mean, it's typical Spurs, isn't it? What we see all the time just before international break, we was going to lose to a team that we should be beating. I don't know, mate. Just some of these players, definitely, I just find it frustrating. I think, players like Dragusin today, just comical defending, and I think I've got to say, like, as much as I love Ange, he does frustrate me. Some of the starting lineup, like, even though he scored the goal today, Bentancur wasn't great. He wasn't great in the last couple of games. I thought when Basuma came on against Villa, we were much better. We see, again, in the second half, that recovery. I'm questioning some of his, choices, starting lineup choices. I appreciate that some of the players are injured. Some players have just recently come back from injuries. But at the same time, he's like, again, he does substitutions and he waits like too long, I think, sometimes to change. Like first half was abysmal. And I really, at half time, I would have expected some kind of change, some kind of to reinvigorate the performance. And I was shocked that, we started the second half with exactly the same players and ineffective players. And, we've got like a couple of players in there that just frustrate the hell out of me. Again, Werner, the guy's fair enough. He's got pace, but he's got nothing else. Every now and then he might get a goal. He might create a chance for someone. But it's just so far and in between. It's just like when we rely on these kind of players to come on and change a game, we've got no game changers. And we've got no real, James Maddison was supposed to be our creative outlet. And when, we know he's going through a shit patch at the moment. He's been abysmal lately, probably most of this season so far. And we haven't really got that sort of creativity. If Johnson is on his day, if Son is on his day, if Solanke is on his day, like today towards the end of the game, Solanke missed an incredible chance. He should have buried that. If we had someone like Harry Kane or someone like that, that's a goal. If Son is probably in that chance, it's a goal. So I don't know. I'm just really frustrated, and it's just same old again. And I just want, like, I don't know what the answer is, Terry, because we got to get rid of someone like Levy to get a proper spending chairman in.
It's all with ambition.
It is, because you lack quality players, and
Exactly.
I take James Maddison as an example. James Maddison passes every single eye test, but he's at the elite end of the spectrum. I'm talking here. He's average. There's not enough goals, and there's not enough assists. Now, I know I've waxed lyrical to that about Bruno Fernandes. When the whole team was poor, because the manager shouldn't have been here, the coaching was poor, of course, there's a regression in there. As soon as you see the team start to move the ball better, the structure better, the performances improve from the team overall, Bruno goes and throws in 6 goals and assists in a matter of 4 games. That's the kind of level of from an attacking midfield player. That's probably that's over 100%, but you need to be getting somewhere close to that. James Maddison, when was the last? I only scored a free kick the other week, right? When you're already winning. But when was his last goal? Like in a Premier League game from open play? Where's the creativity? There's some great touches and turns, not good enough. Brendan Johnson, he had that goal scoring streak, brilliant. Overall, not good enough. You guys, I don't know how much you're paying him a week. What, £150,000 a week for Timo Werner? It's a madness, bruv. Like, it's the lack of quality in your squad, I think, that lets you down more than anything. But what exposes it is you have a manager that plays a high octane style of football where you relinquish space in behind, where the quality of a player is going to be exposed. And I think you're right. You need to buy better, in my opinion.
No, definitely. I mean, I can't fully criticize because we bought some decent players. Like Van de Ven is a fantastic, he's a really, really good. It's a step in the right direction. That sort of player. But we still got Ben Davies, who was playing in midfield against Galatasaray. Do you know what I mean? Like when Van de Ven gets injured, that's it. It's like, it's no surprise that all the games that we lose and we've lost and where we've been we've been defensive. We are every now and then defensively suspect anyway, consistently suspect. But when players like Van de Ven gets injured, we've got no real backup. We then have to rely on like absolute deadwoods, like, Ben Davies and, Dragusin today. It's just absolute joke. He was a joke in midweek as well against Galatasaray. I mean, I don't know, and he was supposed to be a really decent signing. But, he spent most of his time sitting on the bench, not getting much game time. And I don't know if that's made him regress. I don't know. I don't know. But we definitely, we should be going out there and getting, we got some really, really good players in that team. And we need to supplement that with equal quality or players that are going to take us even further forward. Otherwise, we're just going to keep going around in circles. We'll have a couple of decent seasons maybe where we're pushing top 4 or whatever, which is, it's not supposedly what Spurs is aiming for. Supposedly, we're aiming to win things. That's what Ange keeps coming out and saying. But then actions speak louder than words. And I don't really see the action of, it's going to be interesting to see what we do in January. But I said, like, when we bought Van de Ven, we needed another top defender in case, because, either one of the first choice defenders goes out, we've got nothing to come in.
I agree with that. Steve's got a question for you.
Why do you love Ange?
Why do I love Ange? I don't. Well, when it works, the quality. Compared to Conte and Jose Mourinho, what we had, that kind of negative kind of play, it is easier on the eye. But days like today, if we gave it all, if we played really, really well, and let's be honest, like Ipswich, obviously we're going to be up for it because they're, fighting for their lives down there at the bottom of the table. Whenever you come across those sort of teams, they're always, after big, scalps, they bring their best game.
Especially with the way they play. Yeah. You don't look to just
I hear you. Yeah. I hear you on that, Orchie. Obviously, Cam, from your point of view, really important win for Man United today.
Yeah, man. It's just crazy to see these players aren't as bad as everybody's been saying, right? You know, and I'm going to say something, and this isn't, I want to make it clear, this is not the views of the Terrace. This is my opinion. A lot of you content creators or fans need to fuck off. Like, straight up, you do not help your team when you consistently look for traction by thrashing them. I'm talking straight that fast, dude. I'll just say the name, obviously. When you do shit like that, like if I was in that lineup at the start of the game and saw that, I'd look over to him and tell him, shut the fuck up. Like, not like when Garnacho scored that goal today, you could see it in him. He just wanted to be like that. He wanted to tell off the fit, and that doesn't help anybody. That doesn't help anybody. So people just need to chill. Just need to chill. Let the players play the game. Be fans. The access that content creators get in the UK is unprecedented in sports. Like, enjoy it. You guys literally are allowed to be there. No other in the NBA, the NFL, you're not the lockers. You're not allowed to do it. They don't let that happen. It is unprecedented, and I think it's great. I love it because a lot of my friends are content creators, and I love what has happened in the UK space. I think it's amazing that mainstream media doesn't own it anymore. But you're ruining it. You're ruining it. And at the end of the day, leave the players alone. Anyway, to the game. Bruno Fernandes, like I just needed to say that. I was so frustrated this week watching all that stuff go down. And that's just my opinions. So Bruno today, everybody knows how I feel about Bruno, and I've never stopped feeling this way about Bruno. And I got a question for you, Mo. Does this version of Bruno, the version we've seen in the last 4 games, get into the Spurs midfield? This version?
Not yet. Jesus. But yeah, he is good.
Come on. This
some shame, Cam. You played Leicester.
I don't no.
He looked good. Have some shame, bro. You played Leicester. Let me talk. You asked me a question. Let me talk now. Why are you rattled? Because I didn't answer the question the way you wanted.
Go on. Keep going. Sorry.
No, Bruno, listen. Everyone here knows that I've always defended Bruno. You remember me and Flawless went against each other because I said Bruno as a player. And I sent you a message about this. The difference between Bruno and everyone else is I believe that Bruno needs to be kept in check. And me and KJ spoke about this the last match reaction. And today, when Bruno plays for the team and plays the way that like he helps his teammates and everything, I think he looks very good because the numbers don't lie. The problem with him is that there was no one kept in check under Ten Hag. There were egos. There's players playing for themselves. Nobody played for the team. And you can tell today that a lot of players are playing for the team today, not for their place under Ten Hag or for personal glory. And you can tell that everyone is coming together. Ruud is galvanizing the team. You can tell right away from even Garnacho, the way they congratulated Garnacho today after the goal and everyone went around him. You can tell that the team is together, and that will help someone like Bruno, right? It's very obvious. Bruno has talent because talent don't go away from when you watch him at Portugal, when he first joined Man United. The problem at Man United, what happened the last 3 years, is everyone regressed, people. Everyone regressed, not only in terms of ability and the way they play, mentality, work ethics, everything went down. And you can tell now that some of this is why when I was on Straight Facts with Terry, what did I say? And people didn't believe. I said, Amorim can bring this team back up. And instantly,
so one thing I will say it's like when you look at what Erik ten Hag did, like you can't feel bad for a manager who caused his own demise. When you see Ahmad come in the team, and we've all been begging for it, we want to see more from him. You see him come in, and he immediately is our best winger, which a lot of people believe just how he plays. You sit there and wonder, like Ugarte, we paid all that money for him, and you don't play him, and you have everybody coming for him, being like, this guy was a bad buy instantly. Everybody wanted to say it before he even touched the ball. Today, he looked exactly the part he's supposed to be, right?
It's true. On top of that, I wonder about it as well, also on the Faz staff. I see it a little differently from Cam in the sense of...
It's my opinion, by the way.
No, I know it is, but I've already spoke about this publicly. I don't personally have a problem with what he did. I just defended Garnacho in the sense of, if you speak to football players like that, don't get angry either when they give you some shit back. It's when Adam was ignored by Rashford. Rashford's clearly seen things you've said about him. He's got every right to ignore you type thing. I don't really mind it, but I just don't like it. Oh, how dare that player ignore a fan? I think once you start...
Adam one didn't bother me as much because it's like, whatever. That's his opinion. I
get you. Equally, like I look at all of them and it's like
you just gotta like... I think
do the content... Yeah, sorry, I'm running out of time. Sorry, do the content you want, but you got to be able to give it and take it. And if you criticize a footballer or footballer feels disrespected by you and he gives you some disrespect back, I don't want to see crying in the other direction. But look, Man United's biggest problem on the field of play, or one of our biggest problems, was the manager, was how he was set up, was the structure of the team. Every single top coach, every single top manager in the world will tell you the first and foremost thing you have to set up as a team is be hard to beat, hard to break down, compact. Give your opponents very little space. And we were open. We used to spread like peanut butter. And the problem is we were easy to play against. And there was never a foundation to kind of grow from. I want to do some of these super chats because we are getting close to the end of the show. Jerome, who's a Spurs fan, says Spurs owners, Eze, Neto, and Tony's wages too high. They are looking at their balance sheet, and that is from reliable sources. Spurs is a business, nothing more. Disgusting.
Nothing.
Ronnie here says, go on a run before Amorim and Ugarte face Arsenal. Yes, I'd like us to. Nice little run, build up a little bit of quality by them. Crazy how much you see Højlund with his back to goal in the half spaces, far away from the box. I can't wait to see him in a new system. Yeah, I thought he was poor today. To be fair, I didn't think I thought his touch was. Oh wow, what a shot! What a save! I thought his touch was poor. I just thought, I thought he had a really, really poor game. The one time he did do something good as well, Rashford's touch today. Oh, so frustrated. Just kept on messing things up. What a shot by Palmer. This year says top right this is you, Cam. Says you're a consumer sheep. It's fine to hold players accountable about their performances. Faz was right to do what he did. And in turn, the wannabe Ronaldo scored. It's a win-win.
Okay, I want to
really quick. Holding players accountable is completely fine. It's completely cool. You can do whatever you want. That's when you're inside the stadium. You're allowed to say what you want. He's getting paid for that. But before a game, when he's going to greet people who want to meet him and sign autographs and have good vibes, and you come at him, that is not holding him accountable. That's just being a dick. Plain and simple. You're just being.
You can hold people account in different scenarios.
Yeah, I need to debunk this whole thing of because fans shouted at him, he was the reason why Garnacho scored. We need to stop this whole. Well, if I abuse footballers and when they do good, it's because of me because I abuse them or I've harassed them or I've criticized them. No, it's not because of you. He did that because he's good enough to do that, and he did that on the day. That's all it is.
KJ, we've all been to football matches before. I wouldn't call what Faz said abuse, but
no.
We've all been to football matches.
No, I never said Faz abused. I'm not saying that, but people abuse Brennan Johnson, and then when he went to scoring, he said, "Yep, that's because I was."
Yeah, I would love to see the. I would love to listen. I think it's a debate. We might do it over the international break because I'm intrigued by it. Genuinely, I don't have a definitive opinion. When Real Madrid fans smash up their players' cars, I would love to see whether that actually improves the players because people think it does, but maybe I don't know whether it does or doesn't. I'd love there to be some empirical data on this. Ten Hag played a similar double pivot in his first season, which was more comfortable for these players. Ruud just reverted to the double pivot and the side struggled with the single. Mate, you're absolutely right. And other than that first two games, you go back and look at that first 6 months results. I actually went back and was looking at them yesterday because I was trying to see whether we ever lost 4 on the bounce with Ten Hag. We didn't, by the way, for a bit of banter. But I went back and you look after those opening 2 defeats. We won a lot of our games. We were playing well. We were hard to break down. And we never grew from there. We really, really didn't. Arsenal are full strength tonight. So, Terry, you might not obviously come in dead banter, mate. Dead banter. I'm not an Arsenal fan, obviously, but they must. I absolutely agree. Who will we go above before the break? Arsenal or Chelsea?
I think that's what Spurs fans were saying.
Right. I was about to say I wasn't aware that Spurs fans were saying that.
Biggest bottle jobs in English football history, but go ahead. I believe in ghosts because of them, bro. Seriously, bro.
And Newcastle could get Spurs.
I believe in ghosts before because of them.
Newcastle winning today as well. Nice little couple of weeks for you guys. Turning around now, aren't you?
Found our best 11. And unfortunately, Tonali isn't a part of that right here, right now. But yeah, particularly in the second half, we played very well. I thought Force were a bit too conservative, but yeah, Barnes off the bench, he scores goals. The Joelinton goal was quality. Does wonders when you sign a player from Hoffenheim as a midfielder. You put him as a striker. He can't score goals. and then you move him to midfield, and now he can score goals every once in a while. So yeah, pretty happy days at Newcastle. The Arsenal game looks like a turning point, but we'll see with more games ahead. But very happy.
Yeah,
overall.
no, I agree. Rodney here says, well done United for winning. However, it is a plaster over a deep laceration, which Terry is so biased, also close-minded and dislikes criticism. The thing is though, Rodney,
whoa,
where this sits so deep, where this just where this makes you look foolish is because I've said on this stream, still loads of work to do. Most of the squad still needs taken out, years away from competing still, years away from being fixed. You're just lying, Rodney Francois.
Also,
you're just lying.
Rodney's proven something though, that you are a Man United fan, because how can you have bias?
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, full of bias for a team he doesn't support. It's just crazy. Whenever you say anything positive, people they ignore all the constructive criticism you give at the same time. But what that message really tells me is shit. And I know what's going through rivals' minds right now. I know what's going through their minds. Fuck, what if Man United in their structure and to get this right? I know everyone's worried about it. 110, of course you will be. Look, I want to thank everyone who's tuned in. We're live again after Arsenal versus Chelsea, so make sure you're back with us live after that match. Until next time, everybody, look after yourselves. Take care. Goodbye. God bless. And we'll see you all again soon.